Hello and welcome back to The Artisan of Glimmers. In the last part we completed the precision region. Now it's time to enter a new one. Polyomino depicts the shape of its region. So yon X pentomino, yon L tetramino, a domino, and a L triomino that can connect to an I triomino. Polyomino again, and a bunch of S tetraminos. And they all can be placed because they need to get out of a cul-de-sac. Polyomino. A square and a corner can always be placed. This also confirms that they can overlap if they depict the same shape. You are different shapes, so there must be barriers between you. Square in a corner. You can no longer be vertical. You must be vertical, and your squares in a corner. Polyomino. You must get out of the cul-de-sacs, which means you must be placed vertical, and one tile is left over. This path might already belong to the next region, because the polyomino window is here. Polyomino. You are different shapes, so you need to get out of the cul-de-sac. You are a corner square. This I can't merge with the T, so we must be horizontal. The key can only be placed upside down. And you can turn here, because then you would run into it. Yeah, you already have a different rule. Let's focus on this window first. You don't need to place whole shapes at once. It can be useful to color an incomplete part of a shape. Like these three pentominos who go 3 out of a cul-de-sac and then turn either way. And all 3 together create a new cul-de-sac for this 3 pentomino. But you can only turn one way. Polyomino. You need to get out of the cul-de-sacs. And that's already finishing the puzzle. Polyomino. Here's a corner square, which creates a new corner square, and that continues. You can't go down, so you're also virtually in a corner. polyomino, square in a corner. You are two different shapes, so you must be vertical. This S needs to get out, which means it can only be placed like this. You can turn now because you're not a T. How many tiles are left? 16. So 16 tiles are left over and there are 4 tetromino shapes depicted that can't overlap. So every tile must be part of one of these shapes to make the tile count work. You can only get to this L. You must go to this S and you to this one. Polyomino. And 24 tiles. These polyominoes are all of size 6. And 6 times 4 equals 24. So every tile in the grid must be part of one of these shapes. Your 5 can't be vertical, so must be either on this row or in this one. But this one doesn't work because these two tiles can no longer reach one of the shapes. They must do. So your long part is in the bottom row. Then takes either one of those. Which tiles can only be reached by one shape? You're only in range of purple. This can only be part of blue. If blue would come into the corner, it must be placed like this, but then what is this tile? It's neither blue nor purple and the other shapes can reach, so the corner must be purple. You need a connection. With purple in the corner, this must be a part of the 4 white, because if it would be this endpoint, then it needs to go outside the grid. And now these tiles must be part of blue. Three puzzles left, so let's finish it with these 3. Polyomino. "37 tiles. There's a lot of overlap, so for example, you will be definitely hit one of them. The squares on the side of the border will always connect these two tiles. Place border here. Now this barrier works the same for this square. Needs to connect these two and can't go to the left because then it would connect to the domino. You can no longer go upwards, which makes you into a corner square. This domino is also the final disintegrator. Polyomino, you're different. You're 5 wide, so if you go to the border, you go at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This rectangle is always part of you. Now here's the cul-de-sac. So I took one place on the border, so it pushes the big shape further to the right. This one is a triomino. Polyomino. Square on a border always takes these two tiles. You work similar, your minimum height is also 2, and you can't be 4 because that's a different shape. And counting from the corner, you must go to at least here. You're 3 high and 3 wide, but you mustn't overlap with this shape. You are a 2x2 square minimum and then go either way. No, this tile could also be part of the square. But you're pushed down. This is a 3x4, which can only be placed in axis, because these shapes are 4 tiles apart. Can no longer go upwards. And this 2x4 must be here. Polyomino window restored. Thank you for watching.